name for the return code.
For some reason that worked. Okay, all I did was I refreshed the YouTube one. So it looks like it's streaming now. Wow, why is the connection so bad? Look, it's 0 kilobytes per second. Kilobits. Bytes? I don't know what it is. Am I on the wrong network? No.
What do you want?
No, I'm on your network. Okay, well, it's just super choppy.
Which one are you on?
Möbius 5G.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, what can be done, right?
I don't know.
This is pretty bad. Wait, sorry, we're already live, and it's, why is it
experiencing technical difficulty?
Analytics, stream health. Oh, you know what's weird? On YouTube's end, it says that the stream is healthy. So, all right, well, I guess we'll just roll with that. Okay. Oh, wow, I match your painting with my jacket.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cute. Okay, hello. Sorry for the delay. Wow, that was 30 seconds of poo. Welcome to Thursday Night Poetry. I'm Saki.
I'm Matthew.
Oh, wow, you got that script down. Okay, we got some poems for you tonight. This week, we didn't pick a topic. So I just wrote stuff about math, and I don't know what you wrote about.
Wine.
Okay, cool. I think I have more stuff to present. Can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, so you don't know this yet. I went to San Francisco, and I visited my...
I know this.
You know this?
You told me about this.
I did.
Anyway.
I must have had too many martinis. Okay, so anyway, I went to San Francisco and I visited my piano teacher, and her husband, vacillate, I'm probably saying that wrong, is this really, really famous artist from Ukraine. He's like so famous. He did the woodblock prints for portraits of like politicians and historical figures for the Ukrainian currency. Did I tell you that before? He's like a big deal, big potato.
Big potato. No, I don't remember that part.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the few people who actually got excused from military service in Ukraine, and they only pardon it's like a pardon. It's like that rare. It's like a presidential pardon. Like, you do such good art, you don't need to serve in the army. Anyway, big deal. So he illustrated this book, which I was so excited. My piano teacher gifted it to me. It's Ivan and the Horse, illustrated in watercolor by vacillate, and then it's actually written in verse, I believe, in Russian. So I mean, I can't read none of this, but the illustrations are really pretty. There's the horse. Oh, and I also learned that in the original tale, Ivan is not a dummy. He's just like a handsome dude. So that's Ivan right there. Apparently that's what handsome people look like in Ukrainian art. I don't know. I guess he's okay. Let's see. I do want to show some of these illustrations. By the way, I have Ivan and, well, it's Ivan the Fool and the Horse, and his humpback horse as a poem, which I guess I'll link to my old video in the description of tonight's live stream. But anyway, look at that. This is watercolor. Anyway, you gotta check out that poem. It's better than this one. Maybe.
I guess we don't know.
Yeah, I guess we won't know. So here's the part where Ivan's brothers sold the horses to the king, and it turned out that the horses were like not down to have this other guy be their master, and then so they ran back to Ivan, and then the king was like, oh crap, guess I gotta hire you as the stable boy. So let's see, and then this next part, this is different from the one that I told, which is so in this version, which is the like traditionaler version, he has to fetch a phoenix's feather as one of his challenge. But in the one that I did, he had to get a golden boar with her, a silver boar with golden piglets, and also a mare and her stallions. Anyway, different variations. Look at that! Look at that castle! Look at that Disney castle! Disney. Okay, getting way too excited here. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to flip through the entire book, but I just wanted to share that this is really cool. I don't know if you can actually get this in the States. This was brought over from Ukraine, but in case you can, here is the ISBN number, so you could look it up. Maybe it's a Ukrainian ISBN? I don't know. Anyway, I couldn't find this on Amazon, so...
The I must stand for international, right?
Oh, I guess. International serial book number?
That's probably it, though. Right?
Yeah, maybe, probably. Okay, so that was not a poem. I'm going to read a poem now. Oh, wait, okay. So I also have to rant about... I met up with my high school geometry teacher, Mr. Cohen. Bruce Cohen, really cool guy. I think he has a website. You can probably look him up. Bruce Cohen, Math, Lowell High School. Anyway, favorite teacher of all time. And I realized like I don't have any math poems, and I like math and I like poems. So this week I wrote math poems. And I especially like topology. So I wrote one about a Möbius strip, and I figured I would make one to demonstrate it.
Oh, okay.
Out of this propaganda.
Yes, this is a random.
This is just like
pamphlet.
Stuff from the recycling.
It does not imply an endorsement.
What's even on the back? Endorsed by Planned Parenthood. They can't be all that bad. Okay, so Möbius strip, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I think most people know at this point, is a strip of paper, and you make a loop out of it, but instead of the canonical way of just putting the end to the end, you twist it first. So, one twist, just one. All right, like so. And then we're gonna tape this together. Also, you have no idea what my poem's about, so... And I also have not rehearsed this little thing that I'm going to do, so I might massively fail. I also did not memorize my poem, and I'm going to try to perform it while I'm, reciting it.
Exciting.
Okay. Anyway, what's really cool about a Möbius strip is that it has one surface. What I mean by that is, if you were an ant or a small creature, we're going to start out at the K, the big K. Here we are, where this ant is walking along. Now we're on the inside. Still walking. I know, it looks like I'm cheating. Anyway, I'm still... Oh, wait, my hand's stuck. We're here. And we have arrived back at the K. So basically, this doesn't have like a top or bottom or back and front. It's one single surface because we introduced the twist. So if you're that ant that's crawling, you're going to effectively just... It's like you're going in a straight line, but you actually have to travel twice around the loop, one on the top here, the top, and once on the bottom, before you can make it back to the K. So, anyway, here is my poem, which is also going to introduce a fun fact about Möbius strips. Okay, I'm gonna try to like set this up so I can read it. I should have just memorized it. Huh?
Should I hold it?
No, it's fine. It's also, it's just a limerick. All right, and I'm gonna also set this up because it needs a start. Wait, do you already know what I'm doing?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay, well I'll do it at the camera then. Okay.
Yeah, make sure that pop filter's not in the way.
Oh, okay. You guys can see that? Okay. If you take... Oh, this is a limerick. Did I say that already? This is a limerick. And I'm going to cut it. If you take a Möbius strip... Möbius... I forgot there's an umlaut. Möbius strip. If you take a Möbius strip and along its length you clip, common sense will tell you that you'll end up with two. But surprise, it's just one. What a trip. Whoa. Ta-da. You just end up with one Möbius strip, which is kind of cool, I guess. Anyway, that's it. I was able to read it and cut at the same time. What a trip.
Amazing.
I know. Okay. So, one thing I wanted to actually do for this little demo is I wanted to demonstrate how this makes sense. I think people trip out about this and they think it's some sort of like sleight of hand thing, and they don't believe you, kids. They don't believe you until they do it themselves, and they're like, "Oh, what?" And then it's twice the length, twice the original strip length. So
And there's more twists, right? How many?
Yeah, I think I
twists you get?
introduced one. No, wait. There's still the same. Oh no, wait. Now there are 2 twists. Yeah, there are 2 twists. Did I do that right? There are 2.
Does it go like
Here.
from
Let's corner them.
1 to 3 or something?
Yeah, there.
Because it has to be.
Yeah, there are 2 twists in here. So if we fold it, right, that's 2 twists. I think.
Well, then you
Oh
have
no, wait, no, there's one here.
Well, it has
Oh,
to be
that's-
odd, right?
Oh, you're right. There are 3.
1 to 3.
Okay, well.
I wonder, does it
unless
just keep
it's-
going up? You just keep getting 2 more every time?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I guess I should have paid attention in topology class. Okay. Anyway, this whole doubling thing, though, I have a way of demonstrating to kids. Like it's a demystifying tool. So if you get a rubber band, which I don't have, but I have a hair tie. What's really cool is when you're just tying it on your hair, do a thing where you twist it and double it over so that you have a half the side, half the diameter, right? Or I guess half the circumference, whatever. And then, so this right here, I had a loop, right? I introduced a twist, and I stacked it on top of itself. This is actually a Möbius strip right here. The little twist, when I tape the paper together, that twist is right there. That little X shape, so the X shape is the twist. So then if you had this situation here, and then you cut it in half along its length, so like so, or just basically splitting it open like that, right? That's that cross. So it should be no surprise that when you cut it in half, it becomes one loop that's twice its length. Now, obviously, like you can't really cut through the X shape, but anyway, that's what that is. Anyway, this helps explain to kids why it gets twice as big, and why when you split it, you're just separate. All you're doing is that, and then that actually has 2 twists. I'm twisting both of them, so that's why it doesn't do like this. Okay. Anyway, complicated, not really poetry related, but that was my mathy poem.
I like it.
Oh, thanks. Okay, your turn.
Should I do the old poem, which is math related, since we just did a math thing, or should I?
Yes, because my second poem is also mathy.
Okay, so this is a really short poem that I wrote in honor of Leibniz's famous catchphrase. Leibniz co-invented calculus, for all you people, among various other things. All right. Let's not sit and vacillate about what is or isn't random. Rather, let us calculate till quod erat demonstrandum.
Some fancy Latin.
So, QED is, what you say when you prove something in mathematics, conventionally. And let us calculate was his famous catchphrase, which is kind of like, hey, let's not argue about, like, we have a way of settling things for the dirty work of actually doing the math.
Let's get down to business. Yeah.
Well, that's the old poem.
Oh, that actually reminded me of Tom Lehrer's song called "That's Mathematics." It's a kid's song, and then he ended up not using it, but for like weird issues, for weird reasons. But there's a verse that he installed in there that was like an updated version for the Fermat, the proving of that theorem that was
Fermat's last theorem.
the one that's in the margin. So the verse about that is Andrew whiles gently smiles, does his thing, and voila, QED, we agree, and we all shout hurrah. And I can't sing that low. As he confirms what Fermat jotted down in that margin, which could have used some enlarging. It's so good. Anyway, I recommend that song for math nerds out there. It's really cute. It's called "That's Mathematics" by Tom Lehrer. Okay, second poem. All right. So this poem was actually inspired by Mr. Cohen. So, I I think it was like a bonus, or no, it was calculus. We had like for some reason we got ahead in the lecture series or something, and there was just an extra day near the end of the semester, so Mr. Cohen just talked about topology and like research that he was doing with his friend. It was really cool. It was like one of the things that made me almost major in math, but then I didn't.
So you went to a good school. Because at my school we would just watch like a movie, you know. Oh,
yeah, not in Mr. Cohen's
class.
Just
watch a movie.
I mean, that's what substitute teachers did, but no, Mr. Cohen was like into teaching. That's why it's a huge reason that he's my favorite teacher. But anyway, he was talking about topology and like what happens at infinity. I think we already said the Pete Hine one on this channel, but parallel lines meet at infinity. Euclid repeatedly, heatedly urged until he died, and so reached that vicinity, and in it he found that the damnings diverged. So that poem pretty much sums up what the research that Mr. Cohen was doing, which is what happens at infinity. Do things meet or do they like yeet? Do they meet or do they yeet? Okay. So I think he was explaining what a torus was, which is basically if you take like if you take everything, like if you take a plane and extend it to infinity, eventually the edges of the plane will meet and that forms a tube. And then you got so that's the x-axis, right? You take those edges and you make a tube. And you take the y and you also make a tube or something like that. But you can't then you get a sphere. I think I messed it up. But anyway, if you take just the original tube and do like that, make like a bike inner tube, that's how you get a torus. I don't know. It was really complicated. I didn't actually understand it. But, I mean, that was in 10th grade. I also have made no effort since then to understand how toruses work. But I wrote this poem. It's about the Klein bottle. And how this was explained to me, which I think was very useful, was Mr. Cohen actually brought an inner tube to class. He also bicycles, so I think he just had a spare one lying around that was broken. He cut it. Anyway, he said, okay, so just like the Möbius strip where you take a piece of paper which represents a plane, like a flat surface, in the same way that you take this plane, and instead of doing it the obvious way where you just take the two edges and meet them like that, instead of doing the obvious thing, you introduce a twist. So a plane is a two-dimensional surface, and in order to make the twist happen, we have to enter the third dimension, which we live in, so we can do that. And then with a Klein bottle, we're going to use a three-dimensional object and introduce a fourth-dimensional twist. So obviously we can't do that because we don't live in the fourth dimension, but the way to visualize that was if you take a three-dimensional object, so instead of a plane, you take a tube, an inner tube. So imagine this is a cylinder thing, right? That was a loud-ass plane. Okay, so you take this, which is now an inner tube. I'm gonna stop holding this because it's a plane. It's a plane. It's also a plane. But tube. The obvious way to connect the two ends of the tube is just like that, right? So you just get one donut. But instead of that, if you took those two ends and instead of connecting it this way, you put them this way to each other. So it would have to intersect itself in order to do that. That would be a Klein bottle. Right. So anyway, that's the equivalent, the third to fourth dimension equivalent of a Möbius strip. So, anyway, okay, so, actually, I feel like I should show a photo of a Klein bottle just so, in case the audience has not heard of this. Why are there so many planes? Can I just close the window?
Sure.
Okay.
That's a Miramar. Jet fighters patrolling above us.
The door's also open, but okay. Here we go. That's... Come on, camera. That's a Klein bottle. So, well, that's one version of it. Usually they put the like thick end on the bottom so it looks kind of like a pitcher. And you can actually get one of these as like a blown glass physical object in 3 dimensions, but obviously, like, the part where it intersects itself is a lie. Like, that's a 3rd-dimensional visualization. Anyway, okay. This is a very short poem. I feel like there was a lot of build-up for how short it is. Small fun fact. I actually wrote this, and I lost it in a book of poetry that someone had stolen from me.
Oh.
I think they thought that the poetry book was, like, something worth more money. So, anyway, I rewrote it, and I made it better. And probably less correct. You'll see. Okay. Here we go. No title. It's about Klein bottles. I thought it would be fine to store some extra wine inside a little Klein bottle for retention. But when I poured it in, oh gee, it poured itself right out, you see. Disregarding gravity, it flowed in 4 dimensions.
That's lovely. I wonder if there is such a thing as a wine decanter in the shape of a Klein bottle.
Oh yeah, certainly. But it won't hold very much. I guess, unless it's large, but there's like a lot of wasted volume. Probably.
So this is one of those bizarre synchronicities because we didn't have a prompt this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a poem about a wine.
Oh, right. Whoa. Or we're just alcoholics and there's always wine on the
Think about
mind.
it constantly, that's right.
Yeah, wow.
Alright, so for those of you who don't know, an amphora is a kind of shaped like a plumb bob. It's a big container of wine that they had in ancient Greece, and they would age it by burying it under a river, so it would be relatively cold, and the yeast would develop slowly and give you good flavor.
Wait, so it's a vase?
Yeah, like a big old vase-shaped pointy bottom to collect the yeast as it settles down. But yeah, it looks like a big vase.
What's it called?
Amphora.
Amphora, like am-E-M?
Yeah.
Not amphora, like our coworker.
Like amphibian.
Amphora. Diatom? Oh, I see it.
No, the diatom is shaped like the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, what? That's what these are for?
Well, that's a fancy one. There's like just basic clay ones that they used to bury.
Oh, okay. I'll show.
Ferment the wine.
All right. Here's basic clay ones.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah. Every once in a while, people will find like shipwrecks filled with these things. Just at
With
the bottom.
wine still?
Yeah, they're like transporting wine across the ocean and they just sink. All right. This is syntactically complicated. I hope it comes across. Terroir. Impatient amphoras, covertly awaiting agora's inertly decaying decorum, inversely sustaining amorphous maturings, belated performance, submerging abated.
That wasn't syntactically complex.
No?
No, I think it had.
Well, I used a possessive parenthetical, which I think most people would say is not correct.
I guess so. I think I'm used to reading your sonnets on Instagram.
Anyway, the gimmick of that is anapests, da-da-da, but then each one is exactly one word, right? So it's impatient, amphoras, and then it repeats the assonance. So impatient, awaiting, decaying, sustaining. So, there's 3 sounds, and then they sort of repeat. The ending is not really very satisfying. Maybe I need to rethink that. Maybe
You mean
keep
it lacks
going
a
until
punch, or?
like rhymes again or something. I have to think about that a little bit.
It feels like poetry. It's got all that it's not rhyme. It's assonance, and it's got rhythm. Yeah.
A little experiment.
Cool. All right. Anything else to add?
I don't know.
You want to pick a topic for next week?
Oh, do you want to recommend that topology book?
Oh, Adventures in Topology by someone. I do want to recommend that book. That's a great book. Adventures in Topology.
So, you recommended this book to me.
Yes.
And a little while ago, someone was asking on the internet, like one of these controversial questions that pisses people off, which is, how many holes are in a straw. And I just immediately knew that topologically there is only one hole in a straw.
Yes. Oh, it's not adventures, it's experiments. Apparently there's another edition.
Yeah, we'll post this in the
Okay. Well,
description.
Experiments in Topology by Stephen Barr with 2 R's. We'll post it in the description. That's really weird. Okay. I also I haven't posted that video yet. I did a sewing tutorial that involves flipping the clothes inside out. And I was just like, if you're confused, reference this book. And you're just like, nobody who sews is ever going to do that. But that's where I learned how to do that. I was just like, it was this complicated thing where you have to sew a small part of the garment inside out in order to hide the seams. But attached to one side of it is like a massive load of fabric. So the way to bypass that is to pleat up origami style, like you ever make like a fan. You fold up, down, up, down, up, down, and then it becomes like this compact folded fan. So you do that, and that allows you, the accordion pleating allows you to turn the whole thing, the straw, inside out. And then you can sew it inside out and then undo everything. So
do you aspire to make sewing patterns so complex that it requires topological proofs to demonstrate that they're even possible?
That is a niche market right there. I mean, that'd be cool. That's a like cross. What is it called? Interdisciplinary art. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily aspire to do that, but I mean, I do that. I guess I aspire to teach other people to think that way. Anyway, okay. Long stream, 25 minutes. And we started like 2 minutes early. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that math-themed, wine-themed session. See you next time.
Bye.